Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into South Africa's political storms and uncover the truth behind the headlines. Today, we're talking about a scandal that has Tshwane residents fuming and the rest of the country asking, how did this even happen? Under ActionSA's Mayor Dr. Nasiphi Moya, the City of Tshwane has allegedly blown over R770 million on water tanker tenders, despite an approved budget of only R70 million. That's not a small overrun, that's 10 times the amount budgeted. And now, the mayor and her administration are under intense fire for what some are calling one of the biggest municipal financial scandals in recent memory. The economic freedom fighters, EFF, have wasted no time jumping into the fray. Their statement was blunt: once again, we are proven right, capacitate the state and end tenders. The EFF argues that Tshwane could have repaired its water plants for under R200 million, which would have solved the problem permanently. Instead, they say, the city threw nearly R1 billion into short-term tanker contracts, a move they describe as nothing more than a feeding scheme for politically connected insiders. And, honestly, looking at the numbers, you can't help but wonder if they have a point. Let's unpack what actually happened. Tshwane has been struggling with water shortages for years. Leaking infrastructure, outdated water plants, and mismanagement have left many communities dependent on tankers for daily supply. But those tankers were supposed to be a temporary fix while the city repaired its systems. Instead, it turned into a cash pipeline. The city paid out hundreds of millions of rand to tanker service providers, far exceeding the approved budget, and now residents and opposition parties are demanding answers. The situation raises serious questions about oversight and accountability. How does a municipality overspend its budget by R700 million without immediate red flags? Who approved these payments, and why did the city rely so heavily on outsourcing instead of repairing its infrastructure? The official explanation is that this was part of emergency procurement, that familiar phrase that tends to pop up whenever public funds vanish under mysterious circumstances. According to sources, some of the companies awarded tenders have ties to individuals with political influence inside the city's coalition government. And this is where the story turns political. ActionSA, which has built its brand on anti-corruption and clean governance, now finds itself accused of the very thing it vowed to eliminate. Mayor Moya's leadership is being tested. Her supporters claim this controversy is politically motivated, orchestrated by rivals trying to weaken ActionSA before the 2026 local elections. But opposition parties, including the EFF and the ANC, are calling for a forensic audit into every tanker contract signed under her watch. The stage is set for a bruising political showdown in the city council chambers. To make things worse, residents say the tankers haven't even delivered consistent service. In some areas, people queue for hours only to find the tankers dry or absent altogether. Meanwhile, invoices continue to pile up, with some contractors billing the city for deliveries that community activists claim never happened. In Mamelodi, locals have started referring to the saga as the liquid gold scandal, because somehow, water has turned into a money-printing business. Independent engineers have made the issue even more embarrassing for the city. They revealed that for less than R200 million, Tshwane could have upgraded and repaired its water plants, which would have restored stable supply for years. Instead, more than R770 million went to tanker contracts that don't address the root of the problem. It's like renting a fancy car when your old one just needs new tires, flashy, expensive, and completely unsustainable. Financial experts and civic watchdogs are now calling this one of the most alarming cases of budget abuse at municipal level in recent years. The Auditor General's office is reportedly preparing to step in, and if these figures are confirmed, there could be serious legal consequences for senior officials. But as we've seen many times before in South African politics, investigations often move slower than accountability. By the time the truth comes out, the contracts are expired, the companies have been paid, and taxpayers are left holding the bill. Social media has erupted with outrage and humor in equal measure. Hashtags like #TshwaneTankergate and #WhereIsTheWater are trending, as frustrated residents share memes about how even rainwater is starting to look more reliable than their municipality. Some posts mock ActionSA's campaign slogan, replacing "Action for Change" with "Action for Contracts." Others simply express heartbreak at how corruption seems to follow every new administration, no matter which party is in charge. What's especially damaging for ActionSA is that this scandal cuts right into the heart of their message. The party rose to prominence by promising to do what the ANC and DA failed to do, to restore clean governance and efficient service delivery. But this controversy threatens that image. If proven true, it could turn voters against them and strengthen the narrative that in South Africa, every party eventually succumbs to the same corrupt system. Of course, ActionSA insists that they are being unfairly targeted and that the figures have been exaggerated by political rivals. Mayor Moya maintains that all spending went through lawful channels, and that the water crisis required immediate solutions. But as critics have pointed out, urgency should never override accountability. Transparency is what separates emergency management from outright mismanagement. And in this case, the numbers simply don't add up. The EFF's position, that municipalities should capacitate the state, has gained renewed traction in light of this mess. They argue that cities should directly employ engineers, drivers, and maintenance teams rather than outsourcing every service. Because once tenders enter the equation, it's only a matter of time before political connections become part of the business model. They're not wrong. The same pattern appears across the country, from waste management in Johannesburg to housing in eThekwini. Every tender-based system seems to attract inflated prices, corruption, and delays. In the end, this isn't just a Tshwane story. It's a South African story, one that reveals how public money can evaporate in plain sight while basic services collapse. R770 million could have changed lives. It could have fixed the city's water network, improved sanitation, or funded schools. Instead, it disappeared into yet another bureaucratic black hole, leaving communities dry and taxpayers angry. The people of Tshwane deserve answers, and not the kind that come wrapped in political excuses. They want water, they want accountability, and they want proof that the system can still work for ordinary citizens. Whether those answers will ever come is another question entirely. So, what do you think? Is this corruption, incompetence, or both? Should Mayor Moya step down, or does she deserve a chance to explain? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our breakdowns of South Africa's biggest political stories. Thank you for tuning in, stay informed, stay critical, and we'll see you next time.